incredibly gifted. You could have some of the best sounding tracks in the world, and you could still be failing to make a lasting impact on people. Here's what I mean. People aren't looking always for entertainment. People are looking to be impacted. Even when entertainment comes, impact from the entertainment is what keeps them in the mode of wanting entertainment, because most of the time when they want entertainment, people are wanting a realm of relief, right? At the core of it, it's not that they want to be entertained, it's that they want to be relieved. Sometimes they're dealing with trouble, sometimes they're dealing with XYZ, sometimes they're dealing with the seriousness of life, and they want to be entertained. You, as a musical artist, are seeing somewhat of low-hanging fruit of people being entertained or people liking the way something sounds, and you're sometimes missing the core of what is going down. So let's talk for a minute. One of the core things that will stunt your impact as a musical artist is your inability to discern and decide upon a mission, right? Where there is no mission, opportunities for true impact are absolutely always missed. What is a mission, dude? A mission, musically speaking, it's the clear goal in which you aim to accomplish through a musical project or performance, right? It entails a people, one. Missions are made up and have mission fields, which are people, and then they have these things that need to be addressed, right? So it's who you're addressing, what you're addressing in them. That is your mission. It has a lot to do with identifying problems. It has a lot to do with identifying issues. It has a lot to do with identifying things that make people's heart um, open, if you will. It goes to look for what may burden a person and a people, and these things are what become your missions, right? So these people are impacted by this thing in their lives. How can I make an impact in this area musically? So what are you speaking to? What are you um, and when I say speaking to, I can even speak for those who make music in the realm of instrumental music, because music in and of itself speaks. So whether you have lyrical content or if it's just instrumentation, it in and of itself will speak out. What you convey through your arrangement will speak, based upon, here it is, based upon your intention and intentionality. And here it is, your awareness of your mission. So, one of the key responsibilities you have is to set your intentions, right? You have to set your intention for your projects or your performances. And that means you're clear. You have to be ever so clear about the mission when you're entering into the opportunity to share your musical artistry with the world around you. So when you're putting together music, when you're coming up with concepts, when you're even in this really starts in the beginning phases of conceptualizing a project, conceptualizing even a performance, because a project um, and a performance both require a clear mission. Most of the time, the performance will be driven by the content that's in the music, and so the mission of the performance will be mirroring the mission of the music. However, we the key is having a mission in place, right? Because there are some people who step into their artistry and they don't necessarily have original songs. So you still have to be clear in a moment during your performances what mission you're on, right? Who are you speaking to? What are you conveying? What is your role of the night? Whether you're a headliner or whether you're one of the acts of the night. Say it's an open mic night. Let's deal with that. Say you're at an open mic. It's an opportunity, and open mics are great because they're very good opportunities to put yourself out there as an artist, right? Um, so let's say you're a singer, you're at an open mic, you don't have necessarily any original music right now. Let's say you are pulling from other people's music, XYZ. You still, before you get to that open mic setting, you have to set your intention about what you're going to convey and who you're going to be conveying it to. Well, I'm just gonna be singing to the people in the room. What? Wait. I get it, but okay. So what? What's your goal? I just wanna. I wanna make them like me. Whoa. Let's pull back. Pull back. Making people like you is not a good musical goal. It's not a good mission, right? It's a horrible mission, actually. This is not, because what you end up doing in that case is you end up allowing, and hear me when I say this, you're allowing your performance to be so led by the opinions of the crowd that you actually make no room. Hey, everybody that's joining in, that you leave no room for the accomplishment of impacting the crowd. One thing I've learned about people is that they will want what they don't need. And And sometimes, as an artist, one of the things that we're in place to do, singers, musicians, producers, songwriters, rappers, XYZ, sometimes what we're in place to do is package what a people need in a way that, even if they didn't initially want it, it causes them to wait, turn towards it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, whoa. And then what they realize is, wait, I needed this more than I realized. I thought I wanted to hear this, but I needed to hear this. Right? That's not saying negate people's whatever request or whatever song request. Da, da, da. But this is saying that you can't be so focused on trying to get people to like you, even musically speaking, as it pertains to putting out like studio projects or whatever the case may be. Your mission should never be to get people to like you and to gain more listeners per se. That is not a good goal to set. All right, that is not a good mission to be on. That is actually a mission. We say suicide missions, but though that's actually one of those type of missions, because you will, if you live by their applause, you'll die by their silence. And so when you put something out, and it pulls you out of authenticity. Let's talk for a minute about the fact that you are most effective when you are most authentically you musically. You're not effective trying to be Chris Brown. You're not effective trying to be Beyonce. You're not effective trying to be Michael Jackson. You're not effective trying to be Javar Jackson. You're not effective, trying to be Cardi and all these other people. You're not effective in that realm. You're effective being who you are musically. Your favorite musical artists are not. Oh, y'all not gonna like this, but it's okay. Your favorite musical artists, or you might, are not supposed to be necessarily your musical framework. Now, I'm not saying you can't draw inspiration from. I am saying though, you sound like a Walmart store, or like a Walmart brand version of said musical artist. And that's not gonna cut it. That's gonna turn people off. And I'm not telling you if this is your authentic thing, and the reason that you resonate with them is because you have that similar feel to you. That's not what I'm saying, because that's still you being, what's most authentic to you, right? So when we're dealing with some of this stuff, you you've got to ask yourself a lot of questions, right? One of the things I think mentorship does in a very good way is causes for the right questions to be asked. Now, I mentor people. Praise God. You can find my mentorship stuff. It's in my description. It's in everything. But to cut out the middleman, all you got to do is ask yourself the right questions. Really, if you will ask yourself the right questions, you will find yourself on a path you didn't realize you could walk. Because you got to be like, well, why do I want to accomplish this mission? Why do I want to sing this song? Why did I put those lyrics together? Okay, so why am I trying to pander to this set of people? Why am I so concerned about XYZ? Why do I have 15 songs sitting and waiting that I know are solid? That I've had like different people tell me like, why don't you release this? And I still won't release it. You get what I'm saying? If you ask yourself the right questions and be honest about your answers, mhm, then you'll find that you'll be on a more intentional road than you thought you'd be on. All right. So you cannot, and I say that very, very, very surely. You cannot set your mission as I want to be liked, I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want people to follow me. That's not a good mission. Missions, good missions, should always be, and you're gonna think I contradict myself, but I'm not. They're gonna always be people focused. What does that mean? You just told me not to focus on people liking me and people. No, 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 no. Your end goal is you in those bad missions. I want people to like me. I want people to follow me. I want people to buy my music. I want people to XYZ so I can get XYZ. Right? That's a bad mission. A good mission is I'm going to speak to this in this people. And then you have to, because a part of your mission that has to be checked is your motive, right? Why do you want to speak to this in people? Because I want people to understand that they don't have to live under the oppression of, I always go here, but abusive husbands. They don't have to live under XYZ. They don't have to do this, that, and the third. They don't have to be so mean to other people because they feel themselves insecure. I want to make sure that people feel, I want to make music that helps people or make a song that helps someone to address their own um, self doubts that causes them to consistently be pessimistic about others, right? I know that sounds like too like complicated, but once you package it, that's a whole nother thing. You got to package it a certain way, but your mission then becomes service to other people. I want people not to sit in their pain, their grieving. I want to speak to those that are grieving the loss of XYZ, right? And tell them dot 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 dot. A good mission because you want to help someone else. But like I said, you gotta ask the right questions. Or at least you need someone in your life, in your corner, that's gonna ask you the right questions. Right? A good friend that will ask you certain questions like, hey dude, why are you doing this? Why it pays to be in good company, right? It pays to be in good company. It pays to have good friends. Because they'll address certain stuff in you. True friends will address certain stuff in you. If your motives are off, they'll check you. So good friends, just people around you. Again, mentors, teachers. Like I said, I got you. If you wanna hop in and get mentored on this end, but like All it takes is the right questions. All right. So moving past all that, or moving a little further into this, um, when we don't have a mission, especially in the song construction process, there is a tendency. Again, I started this with talking about the difference between entertainment, and how people don't just want to be entertained. While we think they want to be entertained, what they really want is relief, right? They really want relief. And so we have what we call one hit wonders, right? Songs that I don't know who that was outside, but we have people that write songs that are like cool. They it entertains us, and it's got a catchy beat. It's a little bop. It's a little bop. It's a little bop. But at the core of it, it don't really do nothing because one in not as recent, but I'll say in we had what's her name? Rebecca Black, Friday. Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. We're we're like it's catchy, right? Catchy stuff is cool, but catchy stuff won't be eternally relevant. Not eternal. Well, yeah, I can say eternally relevant too, but it won't be continuously, and it's not really impactful. It's just it's catchy. It does leave an impression. It doesn't impact the soul. It doesn't really do anything to the human experience. It might entertain for a minute, and again, entertainment, that type of relief is okay. But if you want a consistent realm of impact that leads to someone investing into your musical artistry, that is someone who will follow, who will become what we know as fans. I call them listening, a listening community. There'll be those invested listeners that will buy your music, that will pay to see you perform. I guess. Uh, but they will buy your music. They will pay to see you perform. They will invest. If you want that, you're gonna have to make music that has a clear mission to impact people. You don't you don't fail if people don't like your music. You're not a failure. That is strong, but you're a failure if your music doesn't impact people. I know that sounds, but literally, you don't fail if people don't like your music. You're a failure if people aren't impacted by your music. Because somewhere, somebody is not going to like what you put out. It doesn't matter how much fire you put out. Michael Joseph Jackson is the most popular, dead or alive, music artist in the world, basically. And there are some people that hate that man's music. I'm not one of them. I love the man. However, there are people that don't like Michael Jackson, don't like his music, don't like his dancing. And such is with a lot of artists. No matter what genre, no matter what world you're in musically, people are not going to like you. But that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to speak to the people that you are divinely assigned to speak to. We don't make mindless music. We make music that engages the minds of the listeners. We make music that is missional. When people don't like your music, you shouldn't count it as failure. especially if you have been clear on your mission and you've from there you've crafted a musical project, a performance, an album, a single, whatever, around that mission that was clear to serve people. That's not a failure. Don't count it as a failure. It's actually a success, because what happened is you stood in the uniqueness of your calling. You stood in the uniqueness of your artistry. And that allows people to decide whether they actually like you or not. So then you know that the people that actually sign in and invest into what you got going on, they subscribe to your channels musically, they stream your music consistently, download your albums, XYZ. They're consistently watching your performances, they're looking out for new performances, they join your email list to know when you're doing XYZ. You know that they are invested in what you uniquely bring to the table. And that keeps you on track to make impact. I would do it in a churchy manner and title something like He That Hath an Ear. Because somebody has an ear for your distinct music, your artistry, your mission musically. Your sound will resonate with those who have an ear for it, who need it, who it's designed for. So stop trying to be a musical generalist. Stop trying to be a carbon copy of what may have, helped you want to do music or whatever. It inspires you, but what inspires you may not impact them. You've got to What inspired you may not impact them. You've got to be inspired at another level to know what needs to be spoken to in them. And some of your inspiration, I'll get into it in another video, and you can watch some older videos on here. I think I said it somewhere in there. Some of that inspiration for your next project comes from the things that irritate you that's going on in the world. Songs against injustice and all that stuff is on the cards. It's on the table for the next season. I promise. It's saying on the cards, but it's what's coming up. It's really the thing. Stuff like that. So pay attention, and that's all. So I'll see you on the next thing. Again, um, everything you need from me is in the description if you want to go a little further, or you can subscribe and keep watching the channel. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Stay inspired, friends.